Hey, I'm Geoff from Crystal Cities, and welcome to I Wrote a Song. This is the first segment of many to come, which is going to be breaking down and explaining the songwriting behind each song that you're going to be hearing from our album that's being released. It's been entirely done in this environment here in this bedroom, so we thought it'd be really cool to go behind the scenes, especially Don't Speak Too Soon was the first track that we've released and was the first track attempting to record it, produce it here at home as well. I hope you enjoy the first segment. Okay, so the song Don't Speak Too Soon came pretty much like most songs come. It's like an experimentation. All the ideas usually stem from a guitar, because I'm a guitarist at heart. So a guitar, pick it up, it's either that or sometimes it'll be like a simple piano melody, but that's kind of a rarity. Give myself 5, 10, 20 minutes. And if some kind of idea starts flowing, then I'll kind of work with it and continue on it. So I remember picking up the guitar on this one, and I think the first kind of just the initial D minor that I was strumming around, I started singing the verse melody, and it kind of flowed from there. So once I got the arrangement idea down on the acoustic guitar, I start layering electric guitars. So from the electric guitars, usually I'll come up with I'll start with the verses and try and pad out the verse ideas with some arpeggios or some atmospheric stuff. With this track, it was pretty frantic. So I wanted to keep the energy up, and I wanted to make sure the guitars are really driving the song. I think with this track, once the acoustic was down, I started putting a like an eighth note, like an octave sort of strum that just kept that energy going along through the whole verses. So I like to, when I'm producing, once I've gotten down my main ideas of the guitars, where I think they're going to sit in relation to each other, I like to pad things out a lot and have usually some kind of brass string, even some, maybe some quirky pad sounds going on. So that's experimentation again. So you sit there at the piano and then you start sort of, coming up with different ideas. Some will work, some won't, and then you go from there. So Don't Speak Too Soon. When I was writing it, I was coming from that mindset of when you've almost committed to something that hasn't happened yet. So you're thinking about something that's maybe in the future, and it could be a stress and anxiety, could be something that you think's going to happen that you believe is really good or really bad. Doesn't really matter. You really have no control over it. You have no idea what's going to happen in the future. So if you're worrying about something that may happen, or you think something's going to may happen, don't speak too soon. It might not happen, right? So I kind of had that moment where maybe you got that anxiety, you can't sleep, you're worried about something, and your mind's going 100 miles an hour. It's like, don't commit to anything. Basically, you just want to let its thing do its thing, and So that was the idea going into Don't Speak Too Soon. And I wanted the guitars, the bass, the drums to kind of have that energy and that kind of madness about what's going on. I think the energy and the anxiety and the anticipation in this track is coming mainly from the guitars. They're kind of fast paced. There's a lot going on in the choruses. There's a lot of layers, and they're all moving quickly. The drums are from start to finish. They're just going for it, and I think that's producing a lot of forward motion and that kind of frantic feeling that I was after. The drums on this track were recorded using a MIDI kind of idea. So I flesh out the drum idea, and then I send those over to Dan, our drummer, and then he sequences it from his side. This time we were in different parts of the country. Dan was in Queensland. He was in COVID lockdown up there. So we gave him the ideas. He kind of fleshed them out, emailed them back, and we kind of went back and forth with the drum parts like that. The bass parts are all recorded by myself. No, I wish that was true, man. The amazing Jared King has been is the bass player on Don't Speak Too Soon, and his bass playing is like phenomenal. I wish he was here so I could tell him. No. Okay, so the bass on Don't Speak Too Soon was played by Jared King of Crystal Cities, and he brings some really great ideas to the track, and bass playing is you can hear it on the track. That's what's giving it that kind of forward motion as well, like I said before, with the instrumentation. There's a lot kind of going on. Like if you listen and break down each part, like the bass, the drums, they're all bringing this energy and melodic power to the track. The vocals, obviously, they come last at the end of the track. Once I'm happy with the arrangement, where the guitars, the pads, everything's kind of sitting, I feel like there's a lot of energy going on now. That's when I can sort of get my focus onto doing the vocal and feeling the energy from the track and trying to match that with the vocals. So the vocals are definitely last, but there is an intention there to get them with some harmonies and stuff as well that I can hear, that I want to get down to sort of pad them out as well, maybe backing vocals or extra harmonies on the lead vocal, things like that. So that's what would come last, and then it's kind of a process of going back, re-listening, going what's working, what's not, do I take this out, have I added too much, do I add more, things like that.
When did these lights go out? Watching the slow hand move. Now did I say too much? Did I speak now too soon? And it burns my eyes down through the bone. Why did I listen to love? Did I speak now too soon?
Don't Speak Too Soon, the very first attempt of recording vocals myself. So I was in a position where I wasn't just singing. I was like, I've got to get this right. I've got to get the vocals down and recorded, engineered properly so we can use them. So there was a bit of a process of recording, listening back. Actually, maybe I need to record these a little bit hotter, a bit louder. So the process was a bit longer, but once I got the process kind of committed, it was great to be able to have that control over my own vocal production and being able to control the environment, so I could do a verse and then kind of come back in an hour's time and not have to worry about my studio time, things like that. So it was a lot easier process recording the vocals for this track, I think, is as we've done traditionally in the past, where there's under the clock, under the direction of another producer, say. So this is 100% freedom, And I think you can hear it in the vocals as well and in the rest of the track. The very first attempt of the vocals, I recorded them all. I thought, man, this is great. This is so easy. I don't know why I hadn't done this before. And then I caught up the session a couple of days later, and I realized that I hadn't actually recorded the vocals. They'd been lost. I'm not going to tell you how or why, but they got lost. And I had to start again, which was great. I learned from the first mistake, and I think the vocals the second time around sounded a lot better anyway. So thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed the breakdown of I Wrote a Song with Don't Speak Too Soon. If you want to head over to our website as well, now you can check out our VIP fan club, where if you want to subscribe, you'll get all our music news releases coming up a week early before anybody else does in the rest of the world. And don't forget to subscribe as well. So if you want to go to our YouTube, Facebook, sign up, and then you'll be able to keep in touch with what we're doing. So until then, we'll see you next time.